non-Muslim translation of the Quran that even says Allah is a deceiver? And if it doesn't, why doesn't it? Because if it means deceiver, why do the non-Muslims, Aubrey, Dawood and Jadawood, who else? Palmer, Rudy Parrott, why are they not translating like that? The deceiver. You should ask yourself this big question, because they know the makr can have two different meanings depending on how it is used, praiseworthy or blameworthy. Usually, when the Quran describes these plans and devices and plots of the non-believers, it is clearly from the context they're scheming something bad. That is why they're trying to do an evil plot. But when Allah is saying He returns their plot back on them, it's something that is good, because Allah is overcoming their deception, their trick, their plan, their device, their scheme. He's totally dismantling it. That's why Allah is the best of the planets.
Why Allah needed you to fight for Him while He could destroy any wrongdoer?
Allah gives people the opportunity to repent. Allah doesn't force people to believe. Allah doesn't force people to change.
No, you've been forcing.
No, Allah doesn't force people.
No, Allah doesn't force. No, but it looks like Allah is been forcing through Muhammad that, you know, people change and come to Islam and all that. No. It's my friend. It's been for the last 1400 years. Yeah, it's been genocide after genocide by you Muslims.
Okay.
Yeah,
I find
including I'm from Iran, but my from Armenian Assyrian family.
Okay. In Egypt, in Lebanon, in Syria, were there Christians living side by side for thousands of years? 1,000 years?
No, exactly.
Yes, they have been. Now you're not talking properly.
Hold on. All the Christians now living in Egypt, living in peace. Every day our church has been burned.
One second.
Our people being
Are there still Christians in Egypt?
Yes.
Why are they not all killed? By Muslims? By Muslims.
Because they've been protected by the secular government. Otherwise we would have been wiped out.
The secular government is only recent, right? The secular government is only recent.
What do you mean?
These are recent secular governments. What about before? For hundreds of years. Why did the Muslims protect them?
Before, listen. For example, we got a, let's give you an example of Pax of Umar, for example, yeah?
It's a forgery.
What?
It's a forgery.
Pax of Umar is a forgery.
The one that we have is a forgery. Have you read scholarly works on it?
Pax of Umar is non-existent, basically it's a forgery.
I didn't say non-existent. The one that we have, according to the scholars, is a forgery. It's not the authentic document. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. This is a different matter. Christians have been living in Middle East, Egypt, Syria, side by side for hundreds of years, protected. And you're saying Muslim came and they forced them to change their religion?
I lived in Iran 2 weeks ago, right? One of my old churches closed down by the government. They brought the crosses down.
That's today.
Right?
That's today.
Today?
Yeah.
No. It's not definitely not today.
That's not 400 years ago, is it?
No.
That's not 1,200 years ago. That's not 800 years ago. We are talking about a time where people today are oppressing other minorities, isn't it? We know that. People are oppressing Muslims, people are oppressing Christians, people are oppressing X, Y, and Z. Like how Muslims are being oppressed in Burma by the Buddhists.
Yeah.
Every minority people, it seems like in today's world, being oppressed.
So you're saying it's been peaceful, right?
No, I am not saying it's peaceful now. I'm saying
No. In the past, it was peaceful.
In the past, the Jews and the Christians, they were living
peacefully. So the
peacefully.
genocide of Armenia in 1915.
That's one example in 1915.
How about the Assyrians? 1933 to present now.
Give me examples from the first 800 years where Muslims were massacring Jews and Christians.
How your army came to Europe?
Excuse me.
No, hold on.
Can you give me examples of how Muslims were massacring the native Jews and the Christians for the first, say, from 200 years to 800 years. That time period. I'm giving you 600 years of history. Tell me, where? Well, you can't find it, my friend.
No. I know.
Doesn't exist.
Listen. I haven't digged into that period. Yeah.
Do you know why I'm saying this? Because that's the
period.
early period of Islam where Islam was being implemented.
Yeah.
Later on, in the Middle Ages or later, Muslim rulers themselves became corrupted. And some of the Muslim rulers didn't even oppress only non-Muslim minorities. They oppress Muslims too.
Muhammad said, I would leave any Jews and Christian in the Arabian Peninsula except Muslim.
There's a reason why every messenger that comes, they will obliterate any forms of idol worship whatsoever, because that is the plan of God, to uproot idolatry. If now God allows
Christians are idolaters.
Listen. If now God allows, if God allows idolatry, worship of other than God, and
one of your friends, just like he was shouting, he looked at my cross, and you're looking at my cross. He said, yes, because you're worshiping idol. How about you? Are you kissing the black stone? Are you going around the Kaaba?
I'm not saying you're worshiping the cross.
You didn't. But do you know how many times I've been told?
Speak with them.
Do you know how many
You're speaking
times?
to me. No, I can't speak for them. When you're speaking to me, what I'm saying is, when people associate a partner with God, Quran says the heavens and the earth is about to shatter, asunder, destroy. That's how bad it is to assign a son to Allah.
But the thing is, we don't actually do any partnering with Allah. We worship one God.
Do you say Allah has a son?
Listen.
Do you say Allah has a son?
Listen, you see, what it is, you just pick.
Not picking.
Right? No, hold on. But do you read what's the story behind that? Do you read what's behind it?
Story of what?
The philosophy of it.
Of what?
No, you don't.
No,
you
what?
just
Sorry. No. Of what that I haven't read?
Listen. What you haven't read is not what you haven't read. What you're not reading it, or you don't, sort of understanding it properly, right? Right?
Like what? What God you're talking about?
God, the God we believe, He comes on earth. He does anything He wants. He got the power to do anything, right?
Even to become non-God.
Right? Even to become what?
Are you suggesting God has power to become non-God?
Jesus was basically a flesh who God, we say Son of God. This is what I'm saying. It's a long philosophy. I cannot sit and explain to you in 2 minutes.
But even within this philosophy, as you realize, it's something
to
saying God became non-God. God becoming a human, meaning God become non-God.
God came as a human many times on earth, right? Did He speak to Abraham as a human?
No.
So who are those people actually came and talked to Abraham?
Who?
The two angels and God came to Abraham.
No, God never came to people to tell the people I like a human being.
If you want to refer to your Quran, then I cannot argue with you. Yeah. But we got two books, the Old Testament and the New Testament, right? Not one, but two arguments that it happened what happened, right? But you Muslims, you just stick to Quran and say nothing else, and this is what I believe. Take it.
What did God say to Abraham? How many gods there are?
You just argue.
I'm not arguing because you're not trying to engage. Did God tell Abraham that he has a son? Did God tell Moses that he has a son? Did God tell Noah that he has a son? Never. So this kind of belief is an insult to God.
You saying God didn't
Did God tell Abraham that he
have a son?
Did God tell Abraham he has a son? Where did God tell Abraham that God has a son?
God has a son. No, He said He's gonna have a son.
No, where did God tell Abraham that God has a son? Like you believe now.
He didn't say to Abraham, He said to Jesus.
Why didn't God tell Abraham that God has a son?
Because he didn't have a son at that time.
Oh, he has a new son.
What do you mean you have a new? You listen.
You said he didn't have a son then. That means what? God then had a new son?
I'm talking about Abraham, man.
No. Did the time of Abraham?
I was saying, listen. This is what you twist and turning thing, right?
I'm not twisting. I'm clarifying.
You're turning. No. You're turning and twisting. This is your philosophy, right?
My philosophy is straight.
No, you're not straight. You're not straight. You always twist and turn.
What have I twisted?
What you twisted? I'm talking about God came on earth many times, yeah?
Did he tell them that he has a
and
son?
And you asking, did he tell him that he got a son? He had nothing to say actually at that time.
Why not?
Because he wasn't a subject, he was nothing
no, why didn't he tell them?
About.
If he has a son, why did he not tell them? Does God require to worship his son as well?
Listen, you just turning and twisting things. Right?
I'm not twisting, my friend, anything.
No, you're doing it.
If you believe God has a son, he should have told all his prophets and messengers, should he not? Imagine Abraham the prophet in the day of judgment. He stands in before of God and he sees God as a son. He will faint and says, God, what is this? You never told me. You took me as your best friend, Khalil, and you did not tell me that you had a son. He would faint. This is serious, my friend. God never told any of the prophets and messengers in the past that he is 3 in 1 or he has a son. He has always said instead, I am God, there is none else. One God. Before me there is no God. After me there is no God. I alone am God and there is none else. Clearly, all the prophets. That is the message of God. Quran repeats the same message. This is the message that we are inviting you to. Forget worshipping God with the Son and say God is a 3 in 1 or God has a son. God is one and absolute, Al-Ghani, free from all wants. He doesn't even need a son. To have a son is an imperfection, is an insult to God.
You know what it is.
Oh, we're going to go. Say something and then we have to go. No, you were going to say something. No, please. No, you had something to say.
No, honestly. Because, unfortunately, I'm not really sort of deep into that sort of level to actually, I haven't been sort of this kind. I'm not a scholar, I'm not sort of it. But what I know is Jesus actually, when he was persecuted, he said, before Abraham, I am, and that I am is the title of God actually, when even Moses asked him, so why? He said, I am.
If you study this subject on this issue, the Jewish people at that time, they said, you're not even 50 years old. How would you have met Abraham? And from that he said, before Abraham was, I am, meaning I was there. It only tells them that he was there, not because that he was God. He's not using the word I am as a name of God. In the New Testament, Jesus never uses the name of God I am. Never, not even once. You will not find it in the New Testament. Never. Kurios, that is used, but never Yahweh, which is supposedly the name of God. So there are many people who are even before Abraham. Melchizedek, as you know, Melchizedek, he has no father, no mother, no beginning, no end, but he lives continuously without any generations or genealogy. Contemporaneously with Abraham, he was there. Abraham gave 1/10 of his wealth. So this man has no beginning, no end. It doesn't make him God. He was there without a beginning. It doesn't make him God. This is just some kind of words the Bible uses. You have to be careful in what you read. Read the Quran and see what it says about Isa alayhi salam. Maryam, the mother of Christ. We have a whole chapter in the Quran called Mary. Whole chapter. Okay? Take care, man.
Go on, talk later.
Okay, take care.